Meet Braymore Crane Service, your knuckle crane specialist in Toronto. Many people ask us, what is a knuckle crane, and what makes it different from your typical step crane that the crane industry has been using for decades. For those that know a little about cranes, basically think of a crane with a jib or a material handling crane on steroids, only it really is so much more. For those that know nothing about cranes, focus on the word knuckle. It works just like your own personal knuckle on your body. It's a bending point in a crane arm that allows the crane to move in one direction, then turn, and move in a totally different direction. This ability to move in a second direction is one of the main reasons that knuckle cranes are so amazing and so much more versatile than your typical crane. Now you might be asking, why is this important? Well, for starters, you can attach the hook directly to the mast versus a line. This creates a more stable lift and reduces the swing of product while it's moving through the air. It also reduces the size of the mast required to make some lifts. With a hook directly attached to the mast, smaller knuckle cranes can do the same lift as bigger traditional cranes because they don't have to have such a big mast to reach way above and then drop their line down to their final destination. Now you might be asking, what if my particular job requires a winch line to drop into a hole or backyard? No worries, knuckle cranes can still do that. Knuckle cranes just give you more options than your average crane. With this newfound ability in craning, it also opens up a whole new set of options that were never available before. Knuckle cranes can lift under things because the overhead requirements are so much less. They can reach into places like windows, doorways, or even large openings to make rigging safer and to reduce the danger involved in crane lifts off the side of buildings. Another amazing ability knuckle cranes have is the ability to pick up a load horizontally. Knuckle cranes can reach straight out, pick something up, and retract right back to the crane. This is something unheard of with traditional stick cranes. When a stick crane mast is running parallel to the ground, that usually is a bad sign of a crane accident or a crane has just tipped over. They are just not designed to do that. It is not physically within their range of motion. This ability is really handy when you need to reach under something like a tree or power line to pick something up. This also gives knuckle cranes greater power at distance, meaning they can pick up greater weights at a further distance from the truck. Now with all this new technology, it doesn't just stop there. The high-end knuckle cranes are all computerized. They are programmed to reduce and stop human error. They have sensors in them that monitor the load as it is being lifted and can actually stop the lift if needed. Seen all those crazy accidents on YouTube? The computer is actually smart enough to stop the operator from going too far. Most accidents in life are human error. Isn't it a nice idea to remove that factor? Another factor in crane accidents is bad sight lines between the crane operator and the load while it's moving. The crane operator has to rely on communication of someone else to tell him what to do. One bad signal, delay, or miscommunication, and bang! We have another accident. All the new knuckle cranes operate on radio remote controls. This allows the crane operator to move where he can see it firsthand and to personally decide what is the next best step to do. He can walk with the load or just stop it, walk around, view his options, and plan his next step accordingly. Forget the communication problems. Who needs a spotter when the actual crane operator can do it himself? If those weren't enough reasons, let's add another reason for the guy paying the bill. Knuckle cranes can deploy faster and can work in a smaller footprint than their typical crane equivalents. They can move safer at faster speeds because of all the reasons we've talked about so far. If you're paying a crew to sit and wait while something's being lifted, time is money. On bigger jobs, you could get more lifts done in the same amount of time. Then add the safety factor, along with reduced odds of damage or personal injury into the financial equation. Only you can really decide what that's worth to you. I hope that answers most of your questions about knuckle cranes. Want to learn more about knuckle cranes and how they can help you with your lifting requirements? Contact one of our specialists at Braymore Crane Service today.